Hello, welcome to my channel, Bow and Arrow Tarot. Today we're going to be doing the week of July 1st to July 8th, the reading for the sign of Leo. Alright, lovely Leo, sign of Lion, right? 8 in the major arcana. We're going to get right into it. Get your 2 cards out for this week. What's Leo dealing with this week, July 1st to the 8th? Show me. First out, deception. Wow. And unrequited love. Wow. Interesting. So somebody's not being honest about their feelings, or perhaps they're pretending, playing games, manipulating, huh? Leo. So let's see what it's all about. We're going to pull 7 cards out for this week. What's going on with Leo this week? Show me July 1st to the 8th. You can see the cards. These cards, I have to get another deck. I've done so many readings with them. Show me what's up for our lovely Leos this July 1st to the 8th. Give us a clear reading on these cards. Deception and unrequited love. All right, show me. Here we go. First card, main card for this week is 7 of Pentacles. Interesting. Alright, it talks about reevaluating your goals, your plan, what you've achieved so far. King of Swords coming out. 6 of Pentacles has been out for almost every single reading. All about money this week. All about people asking money from you, requesting for money from you. 10 of Pentacles, Magician, and 9 of Wands at the bottom. 8 of Swords, the victim card. Right? So 8 of Swords is the victim. It's the, I wouldn't act this way if it wasn't for you. I call this my gaslighting card, my narcissist, right? Yeah, the 8 of Swords is like people who kind of make life difficult for themselves because of their kind of like insistence on holding on to outdated viewpoints, outdated ideals that no longer serve them. 7 of Pentacles is the main card. So you're really evaluating this week. Like, wow, am I really what I want to be? Am I where I want to be with my career? You're just looking back over the fruits of your labor. You're just kind of readjusting. 7 is a number for dreams and aspirations and surprises. So oftentimes 7s all talk about, in any of the suits, 7s always talk about either reevaluating or taking a look at what it is that your goals are, what your wishes are, what your true desires for your life are. And certainly with 7 of Pentacles, you're kind of looking back and this could be like, for instance, a point in time in your life where maybe you have achieved a certain amount of success, but now all of a sudden you're not the same person you were 20 years ago, 30 years ago, and you realize that what you truly want for your life now is very different than what you had wanted before. And so you're kind of looking over to see where you're at. King of Swords is your card. This is how you see yourself. So right now you see, like, certainly see yourself as having to deal with a lot of stuff, right? Your King of Swords is a disciplinarian. He's the one who comes in, he sets the rules. He's the one who can see, he sees through all of the bullshit. He makes the decisions. His decision is final, right? He's very stern. He requires you to answer his questions, So you're feeling very strong right now, very mentally aware. You have a lot of mental acuity. You have a lot of discernment. You're able to really like see through, see all sides of a scenario. If there's deception going on, you're certainly seeing it right now. And I think you're almost feeling like you're at a point where, yeah, you need to be hard and staunch. It could be that you've been dealing with this kind of narcissist, toxic energy, 8 of Swords for quite some time, and you've really had enough. Certainly if you're looking over your dreams, your goals and aspirations, it could be that you're saying to yourself, damn, it's like one of these, this is not my beautiful wife, this is not my beautiful home, how did I get here? Maybe you're waking up, you're realizing that you've really been surrounded by a lot of take energy, and you're kind of perhaps cutting through that now with your king. You're really coming into your very like authoritative energy, right? You see your person as Six of Pentacles, so you do see them as someone who's very charitable. It could be, right? You do see them as someone who's really like comfortable with money, but it could also be that you see them, you know, this could be a side of them that you see and you're realizing isn't actually true. Certainly when you have deception coming up, right? It could feel very much like, you know, you have this impression of them, but in your King of Swords, you could be feeling like, maybe is this true? Is what I'm seeing really true? You know, they certainly put on or give you the impression that they're very benevolent and caring and generous, right? But yet you see the relationship and you see yourself in the relationship as being part of a group, a cooperative. Three of Pentacles. It still seems, and this is why it explains the energy that I'm feeling here. It's very much a feeling like you're the one who really facilitates all of this. Leo, you're the one who facilitates the work. You're the one who brings the work in. You're the one who kind of like makes sure it all happens. The communication happens. The partnering happens, right? But you see them as the one who's just spending the money. They're just enjoying the money. And you see yourself in the relationship as the one who's kind of setting it all up, you know, making it all happen. You know, getting the connections and the liaisons together, you know, and the relationships with customers or whoever, right, who bring in the actual cash. But your person is just very much just kind of la-di-da, spending money on others, spending money on themselves. Could be that they've been dishonest with you about certain things, right? But you just feel like you feel a little bit kind of taken advantage of, I believe. And certainly this person is exhibiting kind of, well, I can't help it, you know. This Eight of Swords is my victim card because it's very much like, well, you know, I can't, you know, I'm just doing what anybody would do. You know, it's them. It's always blaming other people. It's never taking responsibility for yourself, right? So this is the person who's like, well, he gave me a wad of cash. What was I going to do? And they just went off and recklessly spent it, knowing full well that, you know, together you two need to be perhaps budgeting or working on issues. It's like nothing is ever their fault. And I think you're just fed up with some of that. Certainly when you're looking back at your life and you're like, what have I accomplished? Have I accomplished being with just this energy, this person, working for them and them just spending the money? They see themselves at the top of the heap. They see themselves as the Ten of Pentacles. They think they're the best thing since sliced bread. You know, they very much buy their own hype, even though behind the scenes it's quite clear to me, especially this resonates with you, then this is very much the scenario. Behind the scenes, you're the mover and the shaker, Leo. You're the one who makes everything happen. But they really have bought their own hype. You know, they see themselves as the key to all the success. They do see you as a magic individual, magic man or magic woman. They do see that you're able to manifest a lot of things. They see that you're good at your work. They're good at you. That you're good at your job. But I think they still believe that they're the ones who are the prize. It's almost as if all your skills and talent, you know, are there to work for them, quite naturally, right? They deserve it. Like it's almost as if, like, you know, well, all of his skills should be directed towards me, not himself. He's unimportant. His skill is important, but his skill is important for what it can do for me. His ability to manifest, because they see you as the magician, but they're really giving off in this reading, certainly your person and the connection, right, is giving off very kind of selfish energy. They see the relationship as having been kind of a long battle, right? They might not be telling you this, and this is the deception coming through, right? On the surface, they may be putting on this kind of Ten of Pentacles, happy-go-lucky, you know, attitude, but the truth of the matter is that they see the relationship as a burden. Nine of Wands, they see it as it's been a long struggle. It's, you know, they're not really being honest about how they truly feel about you or the relationship, you know, and certainly Nine of Wands feels like you've been through a long, arduous journey, but mostly on your own. You haven't had any support, and so despite you two, again, this is quite interesting because quite a few of the readings this week have centered around monetary issues, because that Six of Pentacles has literally come out for every reading. Monetary issues, right? And miscommunication. miscommunication or deceptive communication, or people actively working towards, discord instead of harmony, right? And so here with Nine of Wands, 9 being the number of the isolated one, the alone person, 9 is the hermit. So 9 in Wands is like, this person still feels very much like they've been on this long, arduous kind of trek on their own. They feel like this relationship is part of their trials and tribulations, part of their baggage or their burden. And rather than seeing it as, the vehicle that's allowed them to have a lot of this abundance, they see it as more an albatross around their neck. They see you as talented in what you do, but they certainly don't value they haven't connected the fact that they wouldn't be where they're at if it wasn't for this relationship. They see it as a glass half empty, a negative, something they have to just put up with, instead of realizing that, they should actually be thankful for this relationship they've had with you, because you've put a lot of work in. You're the one who's certainly been behind a lot of this 3 of Pentacles, which is cooperative work. So in that way, the love is not requited because they haven't been all that sincere, and you've been doing this certainly because it's somewhere along this started out of love, right? There was a connection through love somewhere along the line. Although I do believe there was a certain bit of manipulation here with this 8 of Swords. I do believe that this individual, probably how you guys got together was part of it, was like a little bit of a manipulation, a little bit of pulling the heartstrings, reverse psychology, And I'm not saying this in the sense that you're easily duped, Leo, but people can play on your emotions. You're a very emotional creature, right? Very passionate. And so, it could be that they really came in with a lot of this kind of like, I've been through such tough times. I've tried my best, 8s, remember, boundaries, and it's like weaknesses and strengths. Here, it's very much this person, it's like, their attitude and their modus operandi just alienates themselves from other people, and so it's like they're very much like, well, if I could just have somebody help me, nobody has helped me. I've tried everything. They haven't tried everything, Oftentimes people don't help them because they're really mean to people, they alienate people with their attitudes and their nasty opinions, their bigoted opinions oftentimes as well, right? And so then people don't want to be around them, and then they're mad because people don't want to be around them, and they blame that on others as well, right? So it could be that in the beginning this really worked on you, this kind of like this, pitiful little act, of the world just like treating them, knocking them around so badly, and how much they need you, so that may have worked. But now you're starting to see through a lot of that. You're starting to see that it's manipulation. You're starting to realize when you look back on your dreams that you've spent a lot of time catering to this individual, catering to pushing their dreams forward, right? Getting work coming in for them. And now what you see is that there just is not much gratitude there. There may have been some gratitude in the beginning as well, but oftentimes than not, when you're dealing with kind of a person who doesn't conscientiously work towards being evolved, and being true to themselves, eventually they cease being grateful. They cease being thankful and grateful, and they start to buy their own kind of hype. They start to buy the newspaper and the news and the junk that comes out. You know what I mean? They start to buy all of that. And they start to buy the help, they start to buy the help that you provide for them as somehow some kind of affirmation that they are truly better than you, right? Because they're like, some people are like that. They're really weird. They feel like the more you help them, the more it only reaffirms the fact that you're supposed to be helping them. And that they're better than you, and that everything should be done for them just by nature of who they are. And so this person is very much embodied this kind of energy, and you are certainly seeing through it. You're seeing right through it. You're seeing through the deception, and you're seeing through the fact that although oftentimes you may have told this person, or you may have done things out of love for this person, and they may have told you they loved you back, but they weren't really working from the same position that you were. Whereas you were willing to do kind of everything for them. You were kind of show your love, prove your love. Your love is very much in action, right? They were very much about just sucking up whatever it is you could do for them. Being thankful, doing all of the cuddly, lovey stuff that on the surface seems to indicate gratitude, but never really following through with anything that's important to you, right? Never really following through with kind of, their part of it, as well, their responsibility. If you've been doing everything, then how are they showing their charity? How are they showing their gratitude? How are they ensuring that you are also receiving your dreams? You know what I mean? And certainly when they indicate that they, when they're, and then I think the biggest deceptive part of all of this is not even so much that they've actually done anything outright to kind of like screw you over per se, right? They've been a user, right? Certainly an opportunist. But I think the biggest deception and probably the most hurtful one is that they've really lied about how much they care about you. That they actually see you as troublesome and as a burden rather than someone that they love and care and cherish, right? It's like one of those, and that's really hurtful when you find out that somebody's been kind of like, yeah, I love you, I like you, I love you, I care for you, and then truly deep down inside they just feel like you're just one big burden. They can't wait to really get away from you. And that's kind of awful. And I feel like, that a lot of that kind of energy is coming out this week. You're going to get a lot of information coming in. Certainly during the course of conversations, it could be conversations, messages, but there's things that are going to happen this week that's going to even show you a lot of this even more, prove it to you a little bit more, and then you'll have to go forward with your decision, right, Leo, how you're going to handle this. But yeah, this could be the beginning of the end for some relationships, certainly ones that haven't been leaving you very happy or fulfilled for quite some time, right, Leo? All right, I'm going to call it. This is July 1st to July 8th, the weekly tarot reading for the fire sign of Leo. If this resonated with you at all, please like, subscribe, and share. If you just landed here because you're surfing the web and you just found yourself drawn here and you're not a subscriber, that's fine too. I hope to find you drawn to this channel again in the future, and who knows, you might find yourself landing on another bow and arrow Leo reading, okay? So for now, I'm just going to say have a wonderful, wonderful July, first week of July, Leo. Love you. Bye-bye.